Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel. I'm your host, E. Miller. Tonight, we welcome back a very good friend of ours, Madeleine Holly-Rosing. Welcome back, Madeleine.
Thank you for having me back. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, it's always a pleasure to have you. You're back with us with a new project.
Yes, a brand new project, not Boston Metaphysical. It's a brand new series called Morgana Pendragon. And I'm sure most of you, and you've heard, it's a very iconic name from Arthurian legends, but I take a very different approach to her and the fact that she's middle-aged. She's in her 40s. And I don't know of any story that talks about, presents Morgana in her 40s and the life and the baggage that she brings with it. But in short, it's about she's lost her magic after she fled England 20 years ago and now leads a mercenary team wherever the best paycheck is. But all that changes when she receives a message to return. Her brother, King Arthur, is dying. Now she must not only face Mordred, the child she left behind, but a new threat which may forever change her and the future of her country. So uh, we have art by Alden Kay and colors by Warnia Sahadawe. Letters Troy Pateri. Troy's been with me forever, so I can't imagine I can't imagine life without Troy at this point. It's currently on Kickstarter. We're about how many days in? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're on our 5th or 6th day.
Wow.
Doing pretty well. Unfortunately, the early bird discounts are over. So sorry, those of you who are just catching it right now. But we do have some terrific reward tiers and some absolutely beautiful art. I've been telling this story about meeting Alden. I was at Rose City Comic-Con. Was it last year? Yeah, last year, late last year. And I was talking to David Walker, the writer, who's done so many things. Big Jim and the White Boy, Bitterroot, the list goes on and on and on. We usually chat when I come up there about cons and things. And I mentioned to him that I was looking for an artist for a new project. And he said, "Oh, I met this artist I really like him and I want him for something for me, a personal project, but it's not going to be for a while. Do you want to meet him?" I said, "Sure." So later on, Alden came by my table and turns out he won the Mad Cave talent search, which was
Wow.
pretty awesome. Yeah. And so he started showing me his work, and I just knew this is the artist for this project. He's going to be absolutely perfect. And I mean, he does action sequences amazingly. You can see 3 pages, preview pages up on the Kickstarter page. But what really hit me is that he draws women as women. They're not hypersexualized. They're short, they're tall, they're fat, they're all different races, and which really appealed to me. So it's been great. He's been absolutely terrific to work with. Warnia is, I guess she's over halfway done with the coloring, so we should be done in the next couple weeks and then hand it off to Troy. So we're production wise, yeah, all the art is done. So we're in very good shape art wise. And in fact, Alden is waiting on me because I have so many plates spinning right now that I have to get back to the second issue of Morgana and finish that off and send it to him so he can start. He's like,
Yeah.
"I'm ready to go. Let's go."
Well, that's fantastic. I have to ask, what prompted you to, tell the story?
Well, it's a combination of things. When I was in film school, as some of your audience may know, with Boston Metaphysical, that was originally a TV pilot I wrote. Well, I also wrote a screenplay called Morgana back then, but that was quite a while ago. I was a different person then, a different writer, and it was a very, very different story than the one I'm presenting here. And looking at life as I do now, as a middle-aged woman, uh, I thought we've never seen Morgana later in life. And we also haven't seen her. I mean, she's always been evil or sexy or, something. And often, as you know, women of intellect and power are often referred to as evil and, power grabbing and, all those wonderful terms. And I wanted to show it from her perspective. I wanted to show a female character in middle age who had her own agency, who was beholden to no one, but yet has this whole backstory and emotional baggage that all of us carry with us. And to show that, one, yes, she's very human, makes mistakes, but she also has skill sets that have been honed over the years and makes it a lot of fun to watch. Let's just say she's very good at her job. She's had lots of practice. She's very good
I,
at it.
I yeah, I would say so, considering the stories that we know about her already.
Mhm.
Those are legendary. But yeah, I actually like the idea of you taking a character, a mythological person that existed, and adding more layers to her character. Just to say, okay, yeah, she may be everything that you read about her, but you didn't read everything. You don't know
Yeah,
what this woman was like.
yeah, and I mean, I think almost every Arturian legend, is all from the male point of view and never from the female point of view.
Yeah.
And so you get a sense as you dig deeper in the story why she and Arthur were at odds and why she left and why she left her son behind. Um, and which she didn't want to do, but there wasn't much choice in the matter. Um, but yeah, this all of this will like be slowly revealed over 4 issues. So there's no data dumps in the first issue. So no, you will not get all the answers in the first issue. You will not.
Well, we have to get people to keep buying each issue, don't we?
That's right. That's right. Find out
Yeah.
more of the backstory and the secrets and all that good stuff.
Yeah. We were actually talking about this a little bit, folks, before the show started. How excited you were to start, writing this type of action adventure in this genre.
Oh yeah, I enjoy it. For those of you who don't know, I used to be a competitive fencer, both nationally and internationally, back in the day. I since retired. So and I've done other things. So yeah, so I'm knowledgeable about certain combat skills and studied warfare and siege warfare when I was in graduate school. Not for screenwriting. I have another degree. um, so yeah, so it's a lot of fun to be able to bring all of that knowledge to the plate and instill it into a character.
Well, like I said, more layers.
More layers, absolutely, more layers.
I'm also sure that your knowledge was beneficial to the artist as well.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Mhm.
What I said was, I'm sure that your knowledge, was beneficial for the artist as well.
Yes, yes, and uh, I give him a lot of examples. Whenever I work with an artist, I don't really want them to spend a lot of time on research. I want them to go be an artist. So I try to do as much as I can for them and send them, videos and images and all sorts of fun stuff. And one thing you will notice is that the armament that she and her team wear are of a mix of cultures, and that was quite deliberate. Uh, the reason being, if you dig deep, in the page I introduced the characters,
Mhm.
They're from West Africa and Persia and Ireland and Korea as well, and they all have backstories. And if you know anything about the 5th, 6th century uh, CE, it's there was the Silk Road, and the Silk Road wasn't just one road; it was like multiple roads that went from Europe to Asia, and people traveled, merchants traveled. People were more mobile than we think they were, and so having this mixed team from all over the place makes sense, particularly since the Silk Road existed. Roman mercenaries existed. Rome wasn't at, was no longer at the height of its power, but it was still very much a functional entity and had influence. In fact, one of the characters was a former Roman mercenary. Uh, Others are, former slaves and guardsmen, who all met up and found a better life working with Morgana.
Wow.
So yes, lots
Uh,
of research.
yeah, I
Yes, I
would
guess.
say so.
Yeah, I mean, I like to when in all my stories, much like with Boston Metaphysical, much of that is grounded in reality because it had historical characters in it. And even though the stories in Boston Metaphysical are completely, they're fictional, completely
Yeah.
fictional, as is Morgana, I do like to ground things in some reality. And you'll even see a little science going on too, because of course I can't help myself. So you'll there'll be little tidbits of things and uh, that are going on, that were fun, that people can do, that uh, you know as you know, other what we would consider technology, other people consider to be magic because they
Yeah.
don't they don't understand it. And so often that's the case with them, is that she has the people think, oh, Morgana Pendragon, she's she has this magic, blah 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 blah. But for reasons that I won't reveal here, she no longer has her magic. And so often they use basically science and better technology, which their opponents see as like, oh, it's her magic. We lost because of her magic, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, and there's even comments about, these idiots think anyone smarter than them is a wizard. So
Uh, how many times we've heard this, throughout history?
mhm.
Unbelievable. Yeah, this is fascinating because I was always interested in this period as well. So to hear that you're, developing, well, not developing, you developed a story, that follows the later years of this character is just great because, like you said, we don't know much about what her history was after these events.
Yeah. Yeah, after her fight with Arthur. And I mean, in some legends she's killed, in some legends she just disappears. Uh and we never hear anything again. It was like, well, I'll tell you what she did.
But it leaves enough, so you know what? This could have happened. This could have
Sure, why
happened.
not? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? But yeah, if people take a look at the page, the main cover is done by Rio Burton, and the variant cover is done by Roberta Ingranata. Rio and Roberta and I, we've worked together before, and I love their work. So it's great to have them both on board again. And I don't know if you got a chance to look at uh, the two bookmarks, which are
Mm.
just amazing. Alden did the new bookmarks, and these are going to be on metal,
Oh,
so they should they should look gorgeous.
wow.
Yeah,
And
that's Rio's cover. Yeah.
fantastic work. I mean, really, wow. Yeah, it's very breathtaking. It says a lot without revealing too much.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, the whole team has been just terrific. It's putting together a project of this scope uh takes a lot of thinking and finding out who there's a lot of amazing artists out there, just tremendous, but to find the one that's fitting the vision that I want, that's always the hard part.
Absolutely. Because you could be assigned to you could meet great artists that don't share saying okay, I see where you're going with this, but the minute you have that component, you're like, okay, they understand what I'm doing here, they understand what I'm saying here, and they're willing to follow you, and sometimes even add things to the mix that you didn't think
Oh,
about.
absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's the reason why we hire artists is, let them be creative. That's why you hired them.
Exactly. I wish people would hire me more. Wow, wow. That these are gorgeous pages. Rio did a fantastic job. I mean, really.
Well, this is Alden and Warnia.
Mhm.
Alden did the art and Warnia did the coloring
Okay.
for the interiors. Rio is doing the covers.
Okay. Well, your team is fantastic. And these are the characters.
Yes. Of course, Morgana and her son Mordred. Her team is Getty, and I do little bios there about them. Yeah, he's originally from West Africa. We have Lena, who's Persian. Kaijo. Connell's our Irishman.
Wow.
Ursmar's from Francia, also known as France, depending on what period you're talking about. Then
Exactly.
we've got, yeah. Then that's the cover by Roberta. That's our variant cover. Oh, and also both covers will be available in metal.
Wow.
I'm only going to do 20 of those, so they will be extremely limited.
Better buy them now, folks. Okay, so the digital version of the comic is $6,
Correct.
and this
Correct.
is
You can get
obviously the physical first issue as well.
correct. You get the digital for the 15, you get the comic and the digital.
Very nice. Variant cover issue, nice. And this includes also the digital copy as well.
Yes.
$22. Not a bad deal, folks.
And
Okay,
then
so
there
this is yeah.
that's the that will be the metal bookmark, the Morgana Mordred bookmark.
Wow.
And then you can also, if you like both, I mean, you can get like the issue one Mordred and Morgana Mordred bookmark, and then you can add on the sword and the bird when you check out.
Amazing. Aha. So now for $28, we have digital copies of not just Morgana, but we also have Boston Metaphysical Society.
That's right. So if you're new to me and what I do, you can get, for 28, you can get the special edition volume 1 and 2 of Boston Metaphysical and the digital of Morgana.
Melon, I find it hard to believe people does not know your work. I find it hard to believe. But
Well,
just in the
it
odd
happens.
chance that people don't.
It happens. It happens. No, no, I've had a couple people who have come on board and they said, "Oh, this is yeah, I haven't heard of you. I'm on. I'm in." So I said, "Oh, that's great. Thank you."
Well, it's nice to actually have new fans, come in. So that's nice.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If Morgana's their gateway to BMS and vice versa, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Okay, we have both covers and a digital copy for $35. This is a very good deal, folks. Ah, we have here the Realtor package
Yes. That's a special discount for retailers.
for
And
$45.
yeah, what's nice with Kickstarter now is you let them they actually have a search where they try to search if every when a comic is up and running and if they have a retailer package they I guess they have an algorithm software that pull it up, but they do say, "Hey, just in case we don't get it, email us." They have a newsletter that goes out specifically to comic book retailers of Kickstarters that have retailer packages.
Wow,
So they do try to help out in that regard. Actually, they help out a lot. So they do.
that's good. Okay, so get to know his comics and Bose digital. Also includes the novels, right?
Yeah, it includes the novel and the anthology and Pike's Peak as well, the first two issues of Pike's Peak.
Okay, all for $46, folks. So for those who don't know Madeline's work, I would get that one. Well, personally, I get a lot of these things, but again, that's just me. Get to know his starter kit.
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
little
so yeah,
that's all physical copies only. And it's it's really nice. It's something I learned about working at cons is I'd have people come up saying like, "Hey, I'm more of a prose person, but I am open to graphic novels. Where should I start?" And it ended up being volume 1 and either Storm or Prelude became our starter kit. So you between those two books, you get basically the foundation of the entire universe for Boston Metaphysical, and you get your prose fix and you get your graphic novel fix. So it all works out. And in this case, obviously, you get that plus the first issue of Morgana.
fantastic. All for $50. Now this is the limited metal cover, right? That we
Yes,
were just talking about.
yes, you get the metal cover plus the regular. Because I know some people like to not touch or open their metal, and
Yeah,
so they can put that one away and then read the other one.
nice, folks. Very nice. And these are the two covers together.
No, this is the limited for just the variant cover, and then
Okay,
you get the regular edition. You can add on the metal separately too, that if you want a different package, you can add them on.
okay. The premium digital package includes all the Boston Metaphysical Society comics, toys, and the 8-episode audio drama, The Ghost Ship.
Yep.
I still have to get that audio drama.
It's a lot of fun. I think you'd enjoy it. And particularly
I'm a,
if each episode is roughly a half hour long, so if that's like your
Mhm.
commute or something, you can
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I was a guy that grew up with audio dramas, so this is magic. This is music to me.
Oh yeah, and it also includes the commentary.
Yeah. Okay. All of our comics. Simple enough.
Yes.
And this is
Yeah,
all the physical copies.
that's all the physical copies, yes. And
76
then
bucks.
you get the next in all of our books is hard copies of everything, including the coloring book.
That's right. I remember we talked about this the last time about the coloring book.
We still have I think I'm down to my last box of
Really?
coloring books, yes. And when they are gone, they are gone.
To be honest, I thought they sold out the last one that we talked about.
No, no. They're fun. Alejandro Lee did the art for the coloring book.
Wow.
And then this is everything that we currently have out.
Wow. And only for $210, folks. Yeah, it's a little pricey, but worth every penny.
Yeah, we've actually already had a couple takers on that, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah. And here are the add-ons. Very nice. The middle cover is $40 each. Nice. The middle bookmarks, $10 each. Yeah.
And then if you want the hardbacks of the of BMS, we have those available as well. Those turned out really well, by the way.
Yeah. Definitely looks like it. Okay, and obviously the Ghost Ship audio drama. The downloads are $10. The actual CD is $30, and the flash drive is $15.
Correct. So a
And
lot of
obviously
this
this
is
is just yeah.
well, a lot of what we discussed before, yeah, of why this story, and also to give a little in where we began, a little introduction on uh, where we started. Because oh yeah, there's definitely people who are going to come to this Kickstarter and say like, oh okay, I'm really interested in Morgana, but like, oh, there's this whole she's been doing this for a while on this whole other series. So oh yeah, no, there's definitely people who've never heard of us, and that's fine.
Well, they're hearing about you now.
Yes, they are. And as we talked about the team, Alden. What's amazing is Alden's never received any formal art education.
Wow.
Yeah, that. I kind of went like, what?
Wait,
And
wait.
Warnie has actually
Never.
worked. Yeah, yeah. And Warnia, I think she's being modest here. Warnia has actually done a ton of stuff. So, yeah, I think she's being overly modest. When I asked her, I said, "Oh, guys, send me a short bio," and it's like, "No, you've done so much more than this." But that's fine too. And of course, yeah, obviously I talked about Rio and Roberta. Yeah, Rio's done covers for me before. Roberta's done covers and a short story in one of the trades.
Wow.
So yeah, I've worked with both of them for a while.
You've got quite the talent here. Yourself included, of course.
Oh, thank you. I think one of my talents is picking good talent.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, clearly.
So yeah, we have reached our first stretch goal. So
Nice.
everyone who pledges to a reward are going to receive 6 additional digital comics. Um, these are all terrific. Some are dark, some are fun, some are interesting. I'm a big fan of Richard's ex-wives of Frankenstein. I still remember, I think it was a year and a half, 2 years ago at San Diego Comic-Con. He came up to my table and it was the first time we met and he said, "Oh, can I pitch something to you?" And I said, "Sure, go ahead." And he pitched me Ex-Wives and I just looked at him and I said, "Sold." It's very, very good. So, hopefully people when they read this, they're going to want to buy. He's finished the series, so it's great. And so we're heading towards our next stretch goal, which is a magnet featuring Morgana, art done by Roberta. Oh, I see. I have to fix that. Looks like I screwed that up and forgot the A to her name. It
Whoops.
happens. It happens when you're tired. But I can go fix that right now. Now I'm glad we went through this and we're like, oh, okay, let me go fix that.
And obviously, stretches 3 and 4 are locked at the moment.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. Let's just go back up here for a second. Okay, you've got 24 days to go, 389 backers. Really impressive. And $9,062. So you've already met past your goal already. You've already been
Yes.
funded. Now you just, wow.
Now we're going to work towards the stretch goals and making things bigger and better.
Yeah. And this is only issue 1, folks. This is only issue 1 out of 4.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun when you see the art for issue 2.
Oh, I'm already picturing you got a lot planned for issue 2.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I do. And Alden and I still have to discuss one very particular important character, which I'm not going to give away here, who won't
Yeah,
be
yeah.
formally introduced until issue 2. And yeah, we have a little discussion on that of how I want this person to look. He's pretty much nailed it, but there's some fine tuning we have to do.
Yeah.
But he's great, and he's so wonderful to work with, and he understands my reasoning behind fine tuning some of this stuff. So
Yeah.
it's all good. But yeah, this
Melon,
is
yeah.
yes. Now this is like I said, this is a story, but it's been on the back burner for a number of years, and I was trying to crack the story of how I wanted to tell it and exactly whose story it was going to be. And I was really pleased when I finally did. And it was last year I sat down and cranked out the outline for all 4 issues and said, okay, now it's time to go look for the artist for my vision. And everyone's just been doing a spectacular job. I really can't wait till it's done so I can send it out to get reviews and things like that. Because that will be fun too. I think people are really going to enjoy this on a lot of levels. Because if you've read Boston, if you don't know me, if you haven't read Boston Metaphysical, I do a lot of deep world building in my stories with very complex layered characters and uh, they put themselves in their own difficult positions. It's always
Mal-
interesting when a character, you know, even in the outline, I don't follow the outline necessarily religiously, because sometimes the character will take me somewhere else, like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going over here now instead of over here, and we'll see how that goes.
It happens to the best of us. It really does.
Oh yes. Oh, definitely.
I can't begin to tell you how excited I am for you, Madeline. I can't wait to see the completion of this because I know this is going to be a huge hit. It's already a huge hit, as you can tell, obviously, folks, from the Kickstarter numbers. But yeah, I think people are really going to like this.
Yeah, I think so too. And fortunately, we have crowdfunding platforms, so we can bring things like this to the world without having gatekeepers, and I can just go do whatever I want.
Isn't that the beauty of it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's just I've just decided I'm just gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna tell the story I want to tell, and if people come, great. That's wonderful. But I just don't worry about it anymore.
That's good. That's good. That's how it should be.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, folks, the link has actually been scrolling at the bottom of the screen for quite a while now. So I would just go click on it, just type it in, and look at this wonderful project. And I would back it now. And I would spend some serious money on some of these, wonderful things. Not just the one issue, of course. That's always a given. You need to buy that just to find out what happens in the story. But some of these great, great rewards. I mean, look at the stuff that you got here. You don't want to miss out on that.
No, and
Particularly if you've never,
the
yeah,
bookmarks are gorgeous. They're just drop dead gorgeous. Yeah.
yeah. And if you've never heard of Madeline or read her any of her work before, take advantage of some of these deals, especially the digital package, Or if you want to spend a bit more, go with this $210 of the Old Things Queen of Murcha. I mean, come on. What are you waiting for? Buy now. And don't forget, you got 24 days to go, folks. So you don't want to miss this comic.
Yeah. I'm sure people see me posting around in social media and all that other fun stuff.
Well, I will certainly do the best that I can to help promote this project, Madeline.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like I keep saying, we in the indie community are very small, but we had to be, we had to support each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's why I'm sure you've seen all the cross promotion we often do with other Kickstarters. And I start pulling together that list even, before I launch, talking to people and working out, because I mean that's how we survive is by supporting each other and lifting each other up.
Exactly. As it just is, I might have to make some purchases at some point, but yeah, before this Kickstarter ends.
Yeah, I
So
think
thank you for that.
we yeah. I think we end on May 2nd at like 11 o'clock in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. Um, but yeah, but you don't want to wait too late, and then
No,
it's
no, no,
gone.
no.
You
Yeah,
don't want to
I have
do
to make
that.
some purchases soon. Yeah, definitely have to make some purchases soon, folks. But I would advise you to do the same as well. Madeline, I can't thank you enough for coming on here and sharing with us this wonderful thing.
Thank you. And I don't know if you want to do this or not. If you want to play the video, you can scroll past my whole talking head thing and start with the animated portion, because that's much more fun than listening to me talk.
Let's do it.
Okay. A little bit more, a little bit more.
There we go.
Okay, but you back it up a little bit. There you go. You can end there. You can start there.
All right.
I don't think we can hear the video.
Hmm.
I don't know if yours allows for the music, because the music is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't. Yeah, we can't hear the music. Anyway, if people get a chance to watch it when they can listen to the with the music, with
Yeah.
audio, they'll like it much better. But
Ooh.
you get to see more of the art. You have Mordred there. Yeah, just this way people get to see more of the art involved, more of the individual characters. And this beautiful splash page.
Yeah. Wow. Just wow.
Yeah. No, highly
No words,
recommend
folks. Yeah.
listening to it with the music is way more fun.
I really wish you could heard that, folks. It was spectacular. Oh man.
Well, they just have to go to the Kickstarter page and they can listen to it
At the link below.
at the
Don't
link
forget,
below.
folks. Yeah. Don't forget, folks. You got 24 days. Go back it now. Okay. Before we actually adjourn tonight, as always, I like to plug in my own stuff. As you can see right here, I'm on tpublic.com with that little Ian merch. And since Easter is coming, I have a couple of Easter designs. So let me just pull it up right now. So if you folks go to tpublic.com, you can actually find my storefront there, where you can see all these little goodies. Now, this is the first of a trilogy of designs called Little Ian, an Easter Mystery. And you should see this is part one. And here is part two. And part three.
Oh, those are cute.
Thank you. Yeah, this is on one of my characters, Little Ian, and he goes around doing very funny things, investigating very strange mysteries, very kid
Okay.
related.
Okay.
Yeah, gets himself in very funny situations. So, for those who celebrate Easter, you don't want to miss out on these designs. Of course, I have my other designs as well. My comic book series codenamed Hunter. Now you can get this in T-shirts, coffee mugs, ball caps, wall art, pillows, hoodies, even cell phone covers. So trust me, you don't want to miss on that. And it's all on tpublic.com. Just type in Little Ian merch, and you can find my storefront there. And last, but certainly not least, my own comic book series, codenamed Hunter. Currently, issues 1 through 3 is now available on theplanet.com. Currently working on issue 4 right now. In fact, I was actually working on it earlier today, so because I'm fine tuning certain things. But yeah, we do have a website, TurboThreatComics.com, but I'm still in the middle of editing it, so that should be done later this month. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, here's issue 2, here's issue 3. Available now at IndieBlind.com. Physical copies, $4.50. Digital, 99¢. Okay, I think that's going to be it for us tonight. Melon, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me on, Ian. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and don't be a stranger now.
I will not. Thank you again.
Of course. Well, folks, I'm Ian Miller, and this has been Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel. Have a good night.